Story 1. Snickers Run Gone Wrong. Submitted by Jenny. Right. So this happened when I was just about 19. I was a waitress at a diner in this small Midwestern town. Barely enough people to fill a football stadium, if you know what I mean. Anyway, after a late shift, I'd usually stop by this gas station. It was one of those places that had seen better days, but they had good candy bars. And what can I say? I've got a sweet tooth. So, I pull into the station one night, around 1 a.m. There's a new guy working there. Older dude. Big burly guy with a bald head and bushy beard. He seemed friendly enough, though. We exchanged a few pleasantries, and I picked up my usual, a Snickers bar and a soda, and headed back to my car. Now, I don't know if you've ever been alone at a gas station in the dead of night, but there's this eerie stillness to it. That's the only time I noticed this unmarked white van parked at the far end of the lot. I hadn't noticed it when I pulled in. It wasn't there before, right? Anyway, I shook off that weird feeling and unlocked my car. That's when I noticed the headlights in my rearview mirror. That van, it was moving, heading straight towards me. I froze for a moment, then started the car. My heart was thumping so loud I could hear it. The van stopped just behind my car, blocking me from backing out. My mind was racing. I didn't know what to do. Then I saw the gas station guy, the burly one, walking out of the station. He didn't say anything, didn't look panicked or anything. He just stood there, watching. The driver's side door of the van opened, and this guy got out. He was about average height, thin, wearing a mask, like a ski mask. He started walking towards my car. I was petrified. I remember thinking, this is it. This is how I die. But then, out of nowhere, there was this deafening roar. The burly gas station guy had picked up one of those big, red gasoline canisters and hurled it at the masked guy. He ducked, and the canister hit the van, smashing the windshield. The burly guy shouted at me to get out of the car and run. I fumbled with my seatbelt, my hands shaking so bad I could barely unbuckle it. I flung the door open and bolted towards the gas station. Behind me, I could hear shouting, cursing, and the sounds of fists hitting flesh. I didn't dare look back. I ran into the station and locked the door. I was alone, gasping for breath, heart pounding in my chest. I called the police. I could barely get the words out, but they said they were on their way. By the time they arrived, the van was gone, and so was the burly guy. All that was left was a broken gas canister and the glass where the window had shattered. The police said they'd look into it, but I never heard anything back, and I never saw that burly guy again. Now, I don't know who he was or what he was doing working at that gas station at 1 a.m. All I know is he saved me that night. So, yeah, the world can be a creepy place. But sometimes, it's the people you least expect who end up being your heroes. Story 2. The Surprise in the Back of the Store. Submitted by Leanne. This might sound crazy, but I swear it happened. I was about 18, fresh out of high school and working at this quaint little bakery in town. There was this gas station on the way home that I'd usually stop by for gas, snacks, and other random stuff. So, one day, after a long shift, I decided to pop in to grab a late night snack. It's this old, creepy place. Looks like it hasn't been updated since the 70s. But it's the only one around. And the old dude who runs it, Jerry, is super nice. That night though, Jerry wasn't there. Some guy I'd never seen before was running the register. He gave me the creeps, like really bad vibes. But it's a small town, and I figured Jerry had just finally taken a night off. I'm wandering the aisles and I start to hear this sound. It's like a soft whimpering. But there's no one else in there except the creepy guy. I'm looking around, trying to figure out where it's coming from, when I see this door at the back of the station. It's slightly ajar, and the whimpering seems to be coming from inside. Against my better judgment, I go over and push the door open a bit more. It's a storeroom, boxes stacked high, dimly lit. I step in, my heart beating like a drum. The whimpering gets louder. It's frantic now, like someone begging for help. I look around trying to find the source, and that's when I see her. There's a girl, not much older than me, tied up, gagged and bound. Her eyes are wide with fear. She's the one whimpering. She sees me, and her eyes fill with hope. I run over, and just as I reach her, I hear the door slam shut behind me. I whip around, and there's the guy, the creepy guy, standing there. He's grinning, this sick, twisted smile. He steps forward, and I've never been so terrified in my life. Then, out of nowhere, Jerry appears. He's got a shotgun, and he's not aiming to miss. The creepy guy freezes, his grin fading. Jerry looks at me, his eyes stern but kind, and says, "Call the cops, sweetheart." I dial 911, my hands shaking as Jerry keeps his gun trained on the guy. The police show up quickly. Small town, not a lot of crime. They arrest the guy, and it turns out he was wanted in 3 other states. The girl was a hitchhiker he'd picked up. If I hadn't found her, I don't even want to think about it. So, yeah, that's my gas station horror story. It's not ghosts or monsters, but it's scary as hell because it's real. It's a reminder that monsters don't always have claws and fangs. Sometimes, they're just men with twisted minds. Story 3, The Split-Second Lock. Submitted by David. So here's a little gem from my college days that'll make your skin crawl. It was the middle of finals week my sophomore year, and I was just about ready to kneel over from too much studying and not enough sleep. I decided to make a midnight run to the 24-hour gas station down the road from my dorm. I pulled into the place, and it was pretty much deserted except for some trucker refilling at the diesel pump. I went inside, and the store clerk gave me this absent nod. He was your typical graveyard shift guy. Scruffy beard, baggy eyes, seemed more interested in his newspaper than actually working. I grabbed what I needed, energy drinks, a bag of chips, and a package of donuts. As I'm checking out, this other guy walks in. Dude's built like a brick house. Leather jacket, biker boots, the works. Something about him set my alarm bells off. Maybe it was the way his gaze was just a bit too intense, or how he was cracking his knuckles. Anyway, I pay for my stuff and decide to make a quick exit. As I'm walking towards my car, I hear the door chime behind me. I glance back and see Mr. Brickhouse following me out, his hands in his pockets, his eyes locked onto me. He yells out, "Hey, buddy," and starts picking up his pace. My heart starts pounding in my chest. Without thinking, I break into a run. I hear his heavy boots thud as he starts chasing me. I circle around the pumps, trying to put distance between us. All the while, I'm fishing in my pocket for my keys. I make a dash for my car, hit the unlock button, and practically throw myself inside. Just as I slam the door shut, he catches up, slams his fist against my window, shouting obscenities. I hit the gas, tires squealing, and peel out of there. I look in the rearview mirror and see him standing there in the glow of the gas station lights, just staring after me. When I was safely away, I called the cops, hands shaking, voice trembling. I gave them a description of the guy, what happened, and everything. They took a statement, told me I did the right thing by running, but they never found the guy. I don't know what his intentions were, but that incident scared the crap out of me. It taught me that danger doesn't always come in the form you'd expect. Since then, I'm a lot more cautious about late night snack runs, and I always keep my keys in hand.